I'll be speaking on the management of normal pressure hydrocephalus. You must be wondering why I am talking, as the management is predominantly surgical. But let me go into it a little later. This was first described by Hakim and Adams in 1965, and this is known as the Hakim's triad, where patient presents with dementia, urinary incontinence and gait disturbance. So many times this has to be differentiated from Alzheimer's disease, and that is why I am talking to you about this now. It's a disorder of CSF absorption and it's one of the treatable causes of dementia. So you should identify this and institute appropriate treatment. Diagnosis is difficult. Unlike other treatable causes, diagnosis remains a difficult task, and prognosis also will be variable depending on the individual. So what is this normal CSF circulation? We all know that it is produced in the choroid plexus, within the lateral ventricles and the fourth ventricle, and this passes through the foramen of Lasker and Magendie and goes into the cisterna magna. Then it bathes over the superior cerebral convexities of the subarachnoid space. And finally, it's absorbed by the arachnoid granulations, especially in the superior sagittal sinus. So what happens here in NPH? So in normal pressure hydrocephalus, the CSF absorption is defective. There is no excess formation. And why is this absorption defective? Because there can be fibrosis or scarring of these arachnoid granulations, so because of which they fail to maintain a baseline removal of the CSF, and so that produces a normal pressure hydrocephalus. Here, as mentioned earlier, there is a decrease in CSF absorption of the arachnoid villi, increase in CSF pressure, and we know that pressure in area is a force, and what happens, this increased force against the brain, then the same pressure in the normal size ventricles. So there is a ventricular enlargement, and with further enlargement of the ventricle, CSF pressure remains normal. Ventricles are enlarged, so the pressure becomes again normal. If ventricles are small and the pressure is more, then it is different. Here ventricles enlarge, and so it becomes a normal pressure. That is why it is known as normal pressure hydrocephalus. Enlarged ventricles will impinge on the arterioles and capillaries and can result in ischemia, which can produce neuronal injury from mechanical stretching of this periventricular tissue. When the ventricles enlarges, it stretches the periventricular tissues with an impairment of the blood-brain barrier. Then there can be reduced CSF turnover and disturbed elimination of the neurotoxic substances such as beta amyloid, tau protein and pro-inflammatory markers. I hope you understand this. When there is a mechanical stretching of the ventricles, the periventricular tissues also get stretched by the enlarged ventricles, and there can be, in addition, impairment of blood-brain barrier, and there can be a reduced CSF turnover because of this, and there can be a disturbed elimination of these substances, beta amyloid, tau protein, pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are neurotoxic, and so it can produce different clinical features. The common ones are gait disturbance. It's the first and the most ominous sign, followed by memory, psychomotor retardation, apathy, Parkinson feature, urinary incontinence. So many times this can be mistaken for Parkinson or for Alzheimer's disease. It's very easy if you remember the triad of 3 Ds or AIM. A for ataxia, I for incontinence, M for memory disturbance. Or the 3 Ds, dementia, and second is dipsy, and third is a dribbling. The same thing which comes here, we'll see about it later. Gait will be short step gait, broad based and short step, and the patients can have magnetic gait. Sometimes they'll say, it looks like as if my feet are glued to the floor. I'm not able to take the first step. This is known as ignition failure or start hesitation, and they can have increased unsteadiness, especially on turning, associated with frequent falls, and may resemble Parkinsonism. Sometimes it is difficult to make a diagnosis also.